This video may contain spoilers. When a show becomes an instant classic, those involved also become instant stars. But not everyone is as pleased with that as you'd think. For example, Peaky Blinders forced a change of plans for Cillian Murphy. Furthermore, is Sarah Michelle Gellar ever going back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Why is Arrowverse's Lex Luthor actor not returning for Superman and Lois? This and much more coming right up in this video. But first, Peaky Blinders forced a change of plans for Cillian Murphy. When Peaky Blinders first aired, the show immediately amassed a loyal fan base. Peaky Blinders stood out for its authentic flavor of style, amazing haircuts, even better clothing, and mysterious title. But when Cillian Murphy, the amazing actor who plays Thomas Shelby, was first introduced to the series, he wasn't at all sure that Peaky Blinders would appeal to a global audience. But while Murphy may have found the title of the show a little alarming, fans know now that the show was inspired by the real-life street gang that once controlled the streets of Birmingham, with the title referring to the razor blades they had sewn into their flat caps. Peaky Blinders is truly a one-of-a-kind show, and we're still a bit sad that the series has officially come to an end. But the massive popularity of Peaky Blinders gave Murphy something that he never expected nor wanted: global fame. "I never wanted to see my name over a title of a movie. None of that ever entered my thinking, ever," the actor said in an interview with GQ. But the entire series hinges on Murphy's character, Tom Shelby, and Murphy's phenomenal performance of the character has turned him into a household name all over the world. And there's simply no coming back from that. And it has even forced him to change his original career plans. Luckily, Murphy was able to get himself a US agent and secure meetings in LA, making sure that he would also continue to appear on the silver screen. But any loyal fan of Murphy will know he's not particularly interested in having his private life out in the open. Next up, is Sarah Michelle Gellar ever going back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer? We've been treated to a lot of nostalgic revivals lately, which has sparked hope for the return of some fan favorites. Look at Community, which is getting its long-awaited movie to complete its 6 seasons, and a movie legacy, for example. But sadly, it doesn't seem like that will be the case for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. At least not with Sarah Michelle Gellar taking part in it. When SFX asked Gellar whether she'd be up to playing Buffy again, her answer was a definite no. And while the allegations of workplace misconduct and abuse that have been revealed about the series creator, Joss Whedon, and Gellar herself having confirmed the show as having an extremely toxic behind-the-scenes environment, Gellar's main concern boils down to a fundamental quality of the show itself, which might be undermined if she were to return as an adult, reaching into middle age. In a way, Buffy can be compared to Scream, as both franchises started out with one main female character in the middle of it all. But there has been a lot of controversy surrounding Scream 6 and how it doesn't include Sydney at all anymore, as it has moved on to a new group of young adults. But just because it was time to make room for the next generation doesn't make the movie bad. It's just going to take some getting used to. And the same could happen for Buffy. I am all for continuing the story because there's the story of female empowerment. It's set up perfectly for someone else to have the power, Gellar said, and maybe she has a point. Following, why is Arrowverse's Lex Luthor actor not returning for Superman and Lois? As the premiere of the upcoming season of Superman and Lois comes closer, fans have taken to Twitter to talk about a recent report that Lex Luthor would return to season 3 of Superman and Lois. Lex was revived by the Anti-Monitor during the Crisis on Infinite Earths event after initially having died at the hands of his sister. This led to the world seeing him as a good guy, but his plans to try to destroy the Fortress of Solitude and working with his mother, Cillian, ultimately result in his demise. Officially, there has been been no confirmation from either DC or the CW that Lex Luthor is truly going to appear in Season 3 of Superman and Lois. But looking at the next chapter of the show, it sure seems like they're setting up the appearance of the villain. Plot details of the upcoming season point towards Tyler Hoechlin's Superman facing off against the Intergang, who we saw in the first season of Superman and Lois, though they are led by Chad L. Coleman's Bruno Mannheim this time around. Many fans expressed their hope of seeing Cryer pick up the role of Lex Luthor again, but our hopes have been brutally dashed by Cryer himself. Cryer said that he won't be reprising his role as the iconic DC villain, both because of a change in creative direction for the character and a scheduling conflict. So, if Lex is indeed making a comeback, the role will definitely have to be recast. Who do you think could fill his shoes? Hold it, there's more to come. Next, James Marsden hasn't given up on Season 5 of Westworld just yet. When is the next season of Outer Banks being released? And could a sister-sister reboot or revival work? Make sure to keep watching until the end of the video, because Tamara Mowry Housley knows the answer. So, let's continue. First up, Westworld star James Marsden hasn't given up hope on Season 5 just yet. Everyone was shocked when it was revealed that HBO had decided to cancel Westworld after a whirlwind of 4 seasons. The sci-fi thriller revolves around a futuristic Western theme park that is populated by sentient androids and became an instant sensation when it made its debut back in 2016. But Westworld became increasingly ambitious with its many twists and turns over the course of its subsequent seasons, losing many fans who became just as frustrated with their confusion over the show. Needless to say, those of us who did stick around to see where it was all going have been sucker punched, and now we'll never know how Season 5 of Westworld might have wrapped up the story. What if, in the end, it all would have made sense, and now we've all been robbed of a satisfactory ending? James Marsden, who played Teddy Flood for 3 of the 4 seasons of Westworld, has added his own opinion about the cancellation of the show. Marsden still holds hope that Season 5 will happen, mainly because he himself was a loyal fan of the show who waited impatiently for each episode to come out. But Westworld has always been an expensive show, and expensive shows need big audiences to make it worth it. Westworld simply wasn't able to keep enough people interested for that to happen, and with a price tag like that, it's really unlikely that another studio will pick up Westworld. Do you think there's still hope for the show to come to a satisfying conclusion? Next, Netflix has unveiled the first images and premiere date of Outer Banks. We've finally been given a glimpse of the upcoming season of Outer Banks, with the new images suggesting there's a long-awaited romance on the horizon, as the Pogues and Kooks are only weeks away from returning to Netflix. Outer Banks skillfully blends action and mystery with teen drama and has been away for well over a year. The last time we saw Chase Stokes' John B., Madeline Klein's Sarah, Madison Bailey's Kiara, Rudy Pankow's JJ, Jonathan Davis's Pope, and Carlacia Grant's Cleo, they had found themselves shipwrecked on a remote island after losing the gold that they'd been searching for. While not exactly an ideal situation, it looks like the group is adapting just fine to their new surroundings. The first batch of images for Outer Banks Season 3 that have been revealed by Netflix seem to confirm that the Pogues will leave the island and end up on the run once again. In one of the images, Cleo and Pope share a happy moment. In another, JJ and Kiara are holding hands, which is sure to cause some noise from those amongst us who have been campaigning for a relationship between the pair. The vibe is slightly different in the remaining snapshot, in which Kiara is in the same scene with Carlos Singe's Andy, and he's most definitely holding a knife, which can't be good. According to the official synopsis of the upcoming season, the protagonists are broke and remain away from home, and while they do seem happy for a while in Poglandia, media. Enjoying a carefree lifestyle, things take an unfortunate turn when they find themselves running for their lives. Are you binging Outer Banks as well when all 10 episodes drop on the 23rd of February, 2023? And now, Sister star Tamara Mowry Housley knows how a reboot could work. There was once a time when Sister was facing the possibility of being canceled, but the show would prevail and go on to become beloved by generations of viewers, gaining a whole new audience when it became available to stream. Sister stars Tamara and Tia Mowry as identical twins who were separated at birth but reunited as teenagers. The show addressed important issues like race, which is still very relevant to this day. It's no wonder that Sister has often been mentioned as a candidate for a revival or a reboot. And while there definitely seems to be interest, no project has moved forward so far. But that doesn't mean there is no potential. In an interview with TV Insider, Tamara Mowry Housley spoke thoughtfully about the potential the show still has, even laying out how it could all work. Mowry Housley thinks that it would be interesting and fun to see the tables turned on the characters, which would give the audience moments they never thought would happen. I would love to talk about raising kids now and where social media kind of dictates everything. Being mixed race, how to handle that in this day and age? As you can see, ideas enough. All we need is for someone to pick it up. Would you watch a Sister reboot or revival? And that's it for now. How do you feel about reboots and revivals? Let us know in the comments what you think. And thanks for watching.